Hi, and welcome to Yoga Jadra. Today we've got a really nice grounding practice here. We're going to do some cobra pose. We've got wild thing and falling triangle, some twists, a hamstring stretch, and we'll get into two-part breathing, and we'll end with a releasing, relaxing Shavasana pose. So go ahead and grab your mat. We're about to begin. Find a long, tall seat on your mat. Stacking head over shoulders, shoulders over hips, and bring yourself to the present moment. Offering ourselves some appreciation, some gratitude, some self-care this morning or whatever part of the day it is. Appreciation for being here on the mat, for offering ourselves this time to be in our own space, in our own bodies. Before we even do the ohms today, let's bring the palms together and warm them up. And bring that warmth to the eyes. You can just hover in front or actually connect the palms to the face and enjoy a moment of warmth and darkness, releasing the optic nerve. Optic nerve does a lot for us all day long as we are constantly looking around, and giving time to rest and heal is super important. Generally that happens during sleep, but it's great to give it a break anytime during the day. All right, let's let that go and bring the palms together one more time. Warm them up and choose a new spot. Maybe just over to the temples. Maybe you have some lower back pain. You want to bring heat and warmth to that area. Wherever is needed in your body. One more breath. And coming gently back to hands in the lap, wherever works for you. Thighs, knees, or here in the center. And let's come together with the sound of Om 3 times. Noticing if there's any points in the body right now that you're holding on to with more energy than is necessary. For example, maybe the muscles around the eyes, or the tongue, or the lips, the jaw. Maybe it's in the back or the hips. Remembering that the practice of yoga is the practice of settling of the mind. So noticing and understanding that there is a lot going on outside our bodies and inside our bodies, but finding and residing in calm and peace even within all of that. Imagining a marker on the top of the head. Let's start with our torso circles. When you're ready, you can lift the gaze. Grounding ourselves into this practice, into this moment. Reversing direction. Coming up through the center, let's reach the arms up overhead, weave the fingers together, press the palms forward, spine goes back, let the head fall. On an inhale, reverse. Press the pinkies back, maybe some wiggling in the shoulders. And once more. In your own time. Remember that this is your practice. I'm just guiding you with some options. And lift on the breath in. And let's let the hands go and roll through to tabletop. Okay, for the hips, let's go around in circles. And the movement's really going to be the hips. And if you can go down towards the heels, great. But if that's not feeling right for you, don't worry too much about it. And switch directions. One more time in this new direction. And we'll bring the toes to touch, sit back in the heels, wrist, the forehead on the mat, lengthening the arms, maybe like pawing the earth a little bit to get into the shoulders there. While at the same time feeling the support and the grounding of being here on the earth, on the mat. And let's walk it over to the right side. Stack left hand on top of right. Open the side body. Breathing into that left rib cage. Relax the neck. You can rest your head on the mat or the arm. And over to the other side, walk through the center, bring it over to the left, stack right hand on top, and release down. Return to center. And let's bring the arms long out in front and we'll just slide down onto the belly. Palms under the shoulders, big toes touch, press the tops of the feet into the mat, and we'll slowly lift the heart. And it's just going to be a tiny baby cobra. The back is doing all the work. In fact, let's lift up the arms, maybe reach them out behind. Countering our work at our desks and our work at on our phones where we're hunching over, really using the muscles to reverse and come up and open the heart here. And we'll release down. Actually, let's stack the hands and rest the head. Relax the heels out to the side for a breath. One more time, same. Lift the heart, reach the arms back. Maybe this time clasp the fingers together and see if you can reach an inch further. Hold here. If you want to add the legs, go ahead and lift. Again, release down, rest the head on the hands. This time bend at the knees and let's windshield wiper side to side. Give the lower back a little bit of a love. So it's going to release the back a little. And relax the feet down. Pressing the palms again under the shoulders. Hips go back. Into child's pose. And returning to tabletop. Let's have knees under hips, palms under shoulders. Let's see which leg do I want to do first here. Right leg. I'm going to reach the right leg back. Press the heel towards the earth, maybe a little back and forth movement. Coming up and lifting the toe off the floor, engaging the abdominal muscles. Check that your belly hasn't sunk. You can tuck the lower tailbone a little bit. Maybe add the left arm and just breathe here for a moment. And coming down with that left arm, I'm going to tip over onto the left side for my modified Vashisthasana side plank. If you're feeling steady, you could lift the right leg off the earth and maybe even reach the right fingertips overhead. Super steady, reach them back and grab the foot. Press the the ankle into the hand. And reverse. I'm going to bring my arm and leg long, and let's bring the right knee in towards the body and land it down on the earth in between the hands. Now we've managed to make our way into a low lunge. Lift the heart. Let's find some movement forward and back. If you have blocks or books and it's helpful for you, you could lift your hands up a little higher and stack them on the blocks or books. And we'll hold back in the Ardha Hanuman, the half split pose. And here again, if you want to just get a little higher on your block, that can be very helpful. Then just finding the space that feels right for your right hamstring, maybe a little wiggle in the hips, a little wiggle in the heels. You might need to keep the right knee bent, and we're just going to iron out the spine. And again, everything I am doing is just a suggestion. Your body is your best teacher. Let's walk it forward and return to low lunge. Sink down in the hips, lift in the heart, and in fact, bring the hands up to the thigh just for a moment. You can stay here or all the way up. Maybe weave the fingers together, point those pointer fingers up and back, high arch. Okay, we're going to turn to the right, so I'm going to bring my right hand back, my left hand forward. And if it's available, right hand reaches for left thigh, left hand reaches for right thigh. Look over the shoulder. Bring the arms back up through crescent and coming down. Let's go to plank and bring the palms under shoulders, one long line from heels to the top of the head. How about some rocks? Just a couple forward and back. You can really engage the abdominals. You feel all the core working. And through your vinyasa, so landing with your shoulders over your wrist, knees, chest, and chin or chaturanga, cobra or up dog. Push back to down. First down dog, give it some TLC, so just gentle movements in the joints that feel like they could benefit from it. And we'll land back down in tabletop. We've got to get the other side if you remember where we started here. I'm going to bring my left heel back, Press it into the earth. It's probably not going to reach, but you're just heading in that direction, the heel going down towards the mat. Shoulders return over wrist. Lift that left heel off the mat, off the earth. Check in with your core, with your lower back. No sinking, remember. We're going to keep everything tucked in. And then extending perhaps the right arm long. And then we bring the right hand down, right foot goes back, landing in our modified Vashisthasana, our side plank variation. Holding here. If you're feeling stable, we'll lift left foot off the floor, maybe reach right arm long. If you're feeling extra stable and you want to go a little crazy, bring the hand back towards the ankle and press. And reverse, so we'll go back to that length. And the left knee comes in, come forward all the way to where the right hand is, landing down in our low lunge. Enjoy this stable sinking pose. Getting maybe into the right quad a bit. And then finding our movement with the hips forward and back. And the hips come back and stay back and find your Ardha Hanuman, your half split variation. Just means get into the left hamstring and find a space that feels really nice in that muscle. Well, it's more than one muscle. The hamstring muscles. Trying to keep this hip square so the right hip might tend to float back. We just want to keep it parallel with the left. And sliding forward, returning to low lunge, really sinking down this time. When you're ready, coming up to the knee, hold here for a moment. Coming all the way up, crescent, and maybe weaving the fingers together. Shoot those pointer fingers up and back like there's a giant beach ball behind you. And we'll open to the left here, right hand forward, left hand back. And if it's available, left hand, right thigh, right hand, left thigh, look over the left shoulder. Squeeze out the organs. End of the day, beginning of the day, either way. Squeeze them out, clean them out. Return to center, coming forward with the heart, and release down. And let's find our way to plank. You could do rocking again. You can stay just in the traditional plank, or if you'd like, let's go down and back on the forearms a couple times. One more time. Through our vinyasa, knees, chest and chin or chaturanga, cobra or up dog. Slide back into downward dog. Right toe goes up and back, down dog split, whatever that means for you. Bending at the knee, the right knee, and opening up a little in the hip. Want to bring it into wild thing. Take that right toe to the earth behind you. Right arm lifts and reach the hips high. Reverse. Right hand comes down. Right foot up to the sky. Let's bring it down into a three-legged plank. Just bring the right knee up to the heart towards the chin. And I'm going to sneak it underneath and open up into fallen triangle. Oops, don't have a ton of room, but you can move your shoulder around a bit. And again, unwind back up into down dog split just for a breath. See if you can go an inch higher and release back down to traditional dog. You can go through your vinyasa, you could rest in child's, or you can hang out here in your dog. 3 breaths. And everyone meet back down in dog, or back in down dog. Left toe slides up and back, down dog split. Bend at the knee, get into the hip, ooh, get some pops. And if you like, left toe falls behind, opening up into wild thing. And reverse. I'm sliding over here so I have room to go into the fallen triangle. We'll bring that left forward into our three-legged plank and then slide it underneath and open up. Right hand reaches and again you can get into the shoulder. And unwind. Return to your your down dog split, excuse me. And you can go through your vinyasa, you can stay in your in your dog, or you can rest in child's. 3 breaths. Let's bring it down. Everyone find child's if you're not there already. And let's bring the arms by the side and really relax the shoulders. We've been using them a lot in the dogs, in the wild thing and fallen triangle. So just give them a break. And let's come up to sit and go into our toe stretch. So we'll tuck the toes. You can actually, this right here is a very nice Achilles stretch, so the back of the heel. And then when you bring it forward, let the knees land, keep the toes tucked, and you're going to stretch the bottoms of your feet. So keeping the toes, big toes touching and toes tucked, holding here as we go into the shoulder stretch. You can stay here or add on to the shoulder stretch by clasping the fingers together. We'll let that side go, check it out a little bit, and switch to the other side. Pat the back, grab the elbow, find your shoulder stretch. Reach around if you like. Checking in with what's drawing our attention. Noticing any discomfort. And allowing ourselves to find that settled mind and place of calm even among any pain or discomfort. There's so much room here to breathe. And let this side go. Shake it out. We'll roll over and bring the soles of the feet together for Baddha Konasana, a diamond-shaped pose. I'm going to grab onto the shins or ankles, lengthen through the spine. If this is already enough of an outer thigh stretch, you can stay right here. If you like, you want to go deeper, maybe reach the top of the head across the room to that corner on the other side of the room. If you could go even deeper, go for it. You can lengthen here. Wherever you are, you're trying to find space from top of the head down through the tailbone. So rather than curling here, we're trying to get long. One more breath. And coming back up. Let's lengthen the left leg long, bend the right, cross it over. I want to get that right foot flat on the floor. So if you're stuck with your heel up a little bit, maybe just scoot it forward. I'm going to use my shin to hold onto as I lengthen the spine really tall. I'm going to bring my right hand back. Inhale tall with the left long arm. And hook the elbow over to twist to the right side. So I'm looking over the right shoulder. 3 breaths here. Squeeze everything out. You even got energy through those left toes. Return to center. Maybe baby twist to the other side. And we'll switch, lengthening the right leg, bend the left, cross it over, get that left foot flat, hook onto that shin and lengthen tall through the spine. Left hand comes back, inhale, reach tall with the right, and exhale goes into your twists. Looking over the left shoulder, squeezing out the organs, wringing everything out like you're squeezing out a wet rag. One more breath. And we'll return to center. Again, maybe a baby twist opposite direction. And we're going to roll down onto supine. So let's bring the feet flat and make sure there's some room behind you. I'm going to roll vertebrae by vertebrae down to the earth. Knock the knees together, let the feet go wide. I'm going to place one hand on my belly, one hand on my heart. If this doesn't work for you, if you don't want to place your hands on your body, that's okay. But we're going into 2-part breath, and the hands sort of help me to feel where the breath is going and to demonstrate for that matter. So letting all the breath out, I'm going to breathe first deeply into my belly hand. And I'm going to continue to inhale into my heart hand. And then on the exhale, I'll release the heart hand first, and then the belly hand. Continuing with your own breath in your own time, 2-part breathing. No rush, but also no exact specific counts, so you can take it at your own pace. Let's release that 2-part breath after your next exhale. Go back to neutral. And draw the legs in for a hug, massage for the lower back, maybe side to side or around in circles, whatever feels nice for you. Let's Let's stretch everything long. So we'll reach the toes in one direction, the fingers in the other direction. Just getting as long as you can possibly be. And then one more time, nice hug. Maybe even squeeze in. We're going to find our way into Shavasana pose. So if you need to change your music or grab a blanket or make any adjustments that you need to, go ahead and do that. And then find your way into a space where you can remain still for a few minutes. Ideally with the spine long. Which means if you are using a pillow, I would suggest using a pillow maybe under your knees, or if you have just a very small neck pillow. But I wouldn't necessarily recommend placing a pillow under the head, because then your head lifts up and look what happens to the neck. It's no longer straight, it's lifted and it's got a little curve there. So ideally, head on the floor. But if that doesn't work for you, that's fine. Whatever your body is asking for is exactly what is appropriate. So stay here in your Shavasana pose, in your deep release. And I'm going to come sit up to sit. You can stay in your Shavasana and I will just be here to guide for a moment. Allowing the toes to fall open, the arms are long by the sides, perhaps palms face up for receiving or palms face down if you need that closure today. But anatomically, palms up is beneficial. Again, honoring ourselves for showing up, for being here today, and remembering that you carved out this time and this is exactly where you're meant to be, right here, right now. Nowhere else you need to be, nothing else you need to do. You are in the right space. Allow the toes to fall open, releasing the muscles in the feet, ankles, releasing the lower legs, around the knees, releasing the thighs, the seat and hips, releasing the lower back, the middle and upper back, releasing the fingers, the palms, the back of the hands and wrists, releasing the forearms, the elbows, upper arms and shoulders, releasing across the chest and heart. Everything in the torso, all the organs at ease here. Release in the neck and throat, the jaw, lips, tongue, the muscles across the nose and eyes, the forehead, the temples, base of the skull, all the way to the top of the head. Maybe watching the own rhythms of your body, the rhythms of your own body. Remembering that the practice of yoga is the practice of finding your place of peace and calm, even when there are so many chaotic things going on around us or in us. Slowly bring awareness to the present moment and begin your small movements. Let them grow. Maybe another yawn and stretch. And find your way back up to the tall seat, Sukhasana, like we had at the beginning of class. And we'll close with the words for peace. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So as we create the word Shanti, the vibration of Shanti is the vibration of peace. So we can imagine that peace is radiating throughout our bodies into the space around us as we sing. And again, you can sing with me, you can just listen, or you can sing silently in your own space. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti. Thank you for joining